And there we go. Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Double Tap episode 8. I am Dan, and joining me as always is Ian. How are you, mate?
I'm good, matey. Good evening.
Good stuff. So, we're going to follow on from the end of episode 7, where we introduced a new feature. We're going to be picking a game from each of those backlogs to have a playthrough, which I have haphazardly named Double Tapping the Backlog for now, but that's a working title. So tonight we're going to be having a quick chat about Steamworld, Heist and Gunpoint, and I had to be very careful not to call them Gunworld, Heist and Steampoint or something along those lines. But so we're going to start out having a chat about Steamworld Heist, which I have been playing for the last couple of weeks since we last spoke. So there's some footage playing now, and there'll be Gunpoint footage from Ian when we're having a talk about that. So you recommended this to me a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
What was the primary thing you recommended it to me based on? What was the thing you thought that would attract me to
it? I just thought you'd like it, matey.
Okay.
I thought you'd like the customization bits in it, like the upgrading part of the game itself. I thought you'd enjoy the layout, the way the levels are laid out, and the different approaches you can take to kind of each problem.
Yeah.
The XCOM vibe is in it, obviously, as you probably know by now. Was that it because it's in 2D? It's just clever, and I thought you did it's different to what it's not that a massive departure from what games you have said you've enjoyed in the past, but it's just something a little bit new and a little bit different with this one.
Yeah.
So did you like it?
Yes, a lot. I went in with absolutely no preconceptions about Steamworld because I've actually never played a Steamworld game, so that was I didn't really know what to expect. I'd kind of seen like the aesthetic and that kind of thing before, but all I had to go on was you saying 2D XCOM, and it was like, okay, yeah, I'm interested now. But what you hadn't mentioned was all the bullet bouncing physics game elements to it, all the customization options, which you are right, I do really, really enjoy. And just the fact that it's funny and it's well written and the music's great, and it surprised me by being really good, basically, for a game that I think we probably got in a humble monthly at some point for basically nothing.
I think that's where we could get it from. I've got on the PS4 as well.
Yeah.
Because I got the Steamworld collection, which is that and Steamworld Dig. But I got it for for Steamworld Heist to play. I'd heard on other podcasts it was like wonderful. Apparently it's playing on like the Wii U. It's on everything now, apparently.
Yeah.
It's on a lot of many platforms.
It's just.
But yeah, I dig it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it yet either, which is annoying, but I will do.
It's not the time of year to be committed to finishing anything, is it?
That's the massive problem.
But yeah, I'm how far in am I actually? Not massively. A couple of hours in, not a huge amount of time. But it's really good, and that very XCOM-y 2D vibe is definitely there, in full force for sure. And it's there's like the squad based, turn based. It's kind of turn based / real time strategy, with a lot of physics elements and bouncing bullets around and kind of puzzle elements to the way that you deal with specific enemies and that kind of thing.
That's what I enjoyed with it. Was although some obviously the damage is a percentage, isn't it? It's like between, for example, a number between 4 and 8 damage it will do.
Yeah.
But it's not completely random because, as you said, there are the different character classes in it. Because you start out with the captain, which is a female robot, and it's like starts off with one other guy, I think, little chubby guy, if I remember, little fat robot.
Yes. Yeah.
And he has a different set of abilities than the captain. And then you recruit as you go along. You recruit more, and they have different abilities based on the weapons they've got.
Yeah.
So what I found interesting, what I enjoyed with it, because the levels are not about 15 to 20 minutes at most, do you think?
Probably not even that, really. Some of the bigger ones and the boss levels are probably 20 minutes or so. But the
But it's
shorter
quite
ones are
bite-sized, isn't it? It's like I can do 1 or 2 levels and put it down. This might be really good for the Switch.
I tell you what, I was thinking that playing it would be fantastic portable, just anything portable. I'd love to play it on the Vita. I think it'd be fabulous on that. Is it on? It could be on Vita. I
It
couldn't
more
remember.
likely is.
Oh wow. Okay, I'll
Might
have to
even be
look
on
at that.
iPad as well. Android, maybe. Because although it's really pretty, it's not. It doesn't push anything, does it?
It's not
And it's not.
demanding. No, you could run it on a potato. It's
Yeah. So as you said, so you can have this little bite-sized level, but then obviously because the captain can have a gun, the bullets can ricochet. There's a little element of skill into it, and there's that creativity level to it, isn't there? Where you think, hang on, if I do that, if I aim there, it'll go up there, and it'll bounce over there, and I can get him from here, and he can't shoot me from here.
exactly.
Oh,
It's
and then the little fella can rush in on his go, and then, okay, and then it starts opening up all these different avenues. Think, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. How could I do it this way?
it's
That's what I really dig with it.
because every bullet can ricochet. Every character can ricochet bullets. The difference with the captain is that she has access to the sniper weapons, the marksman weapons, as a couple of the other characters do, which have these laser sights where you can see the trajectory. So if you're really, really cleverer than me, you can you can bounce bullets with the other characters and kind of work out where they're going to go and shoot people from cover. Or as you say with the captain, you can kind of watch that trajectory and see where it's going. I think I demonstrate that quite a lot on this footage of me trying to bounce bullets with some of the other characters and just blowing up the barrel that's at my feet and that kind of thing quite a lot. And then there's like a cover system and there's class-based system and the loot gathering stuff and hats. Oh god, the hats are so good. They shouldn't be.
It's not overly complicated though. It's not like a wealth of systems you've got to learn. And I thought it introduced it quite at a reasonable pace as well. It's like, oh, a hat. What's the hat? Oh, a different hat can do this. Oh, it's like a buff.
Yeah,
Like, oh.
it's just well implemented, as you say. It's not massively complex, but what is in there is fleshed out well. Even down to like the stupid stuff, like the band that are playing in all the bars. They've got a couple of different songs, and they're all quite good actually. It's it took me by surprise, and I've actually still been playing it since kind of getting the footage and getting a feel for it, and just going back and like as you say, because it's so bite sized, and just thinking, oh, I've got 15 minutes before I need to go and make dinner. I will do a couple of missions
Yeah.
because I don't have time to like boot Nier up over the weekend and be like, oh, I've got to go out. I'm going out with my dad in half an hour. I don't really want to try and boot up Nier and go through a whole story section. I'm just going to boot up Steamworld and play a couple of quick missions.
It's perfect for portable, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, you can enjoy it on a big screen, and you can sit back and enjoy all the wonderful colours of the. I mean, the graphics are fantastic, and you can sit back and you can enjoy all that. But it is built with port. I think it's built with portable in mind. I'd like to think. I don't know if it was portable first and it's been ported over to console. I'm not sure which way around it was, but I know it's definitely it's on the 3DS. I
It's
know that.
I would have installed on a laptop as a backup go anywhere game
Yeah.
because almost anything can run it. I'm pretty sure you could run it exclusively on CPU load with nothing else, and you'd be fine. You know, you wouldn't have any issues.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate.
But yeah, it's really good. Yeah, not sure if I've got anything else to say on it. Really, it's just really good. It's like yeah, from an aesthetic standpoint, it's like it's not steampunk, it's diesel punk. It's like it's that halfway point, and there's like the currency is water, and everyone's like going on about oil, and then there's a bit of a conspiracy in the plot, and there are bosses, and it moves along at a good clip. It's not you're never really stuck for something to do, which is nice.
Well, I've just checked. It is on 3DS, PS4, Wii U, Xbox One, iOS, PlayStation Vita, Windows, Linux, and Mac.
Oh shit! I need to get it on Vita. That's my new travel game sorted because because playing Metal Gear Solid 3 on Vita was difficult.
Good console either.
I like
But
Metal Gear.
it has got that wonderful time, isn't it? You can pick up, you can play 15, 20 minutes, as you said, do a couple of levels, level up a little bit. Because obviously you have your hub is your ship with your captain who's off his fucking tits. He's nuts, that captain. Well, the pilot, I should say, of the ship was you're the captain.
The helmsman, yeah.
The helmsman, yeah. And then obviously there's a big map, isn't it? Just starts off it seems quite linear. Like you just go from point to point on the map, and then you obviously there's a bar at the end. There's on your journey on this point along the map. So you complete these levels. Each level has up to 3 stars.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? So you can there's that. If you're a completionist and want to get 3 stars on every level, you can do that for certain requirements. And along your journey, then you've run into your first, as you say, your first like bar. Ship docks to the bar. It's like, oh, there's a new character I can recruit here. So remember the first one was supposed to be a big fat nurse type character. She was funny.
Yes, yeah. And then there's the hillbilly,
Yes. Okay.
and the marksman who's like the engineer, and then there's the guy with wheels instead of legs, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. I mean, it's showing currently. My footage is showing the first boss fight against Chop Suey, which is a terrible pun, but it's a very different level to the other ones. Like normally, you progress from point A to point B, collecting loot and killing the enemies that you encounter, usually with some kind of imposed time restriction, like in 4 turns turrets will activate, in 5 turns more enemies will spawn, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the boss fight is very much you go in, you get fucked up by the boss for a solid 10 minutes, then you finally kill her, and then you make your way off again. It's very different. And it's currently showing me plinking from behind cover thinking, I wonder how much damage a headshot against the boss will do, and then going, oh, she's got quite a lot of health. It's yeah, it's good. It's well put together. I like no bugs at all that I could see. It's polished. It works. And now I definitely have to pick it up on Vita.
Did you play it on a very high difficulty?
Just hard, I think. Just like the.
So the permadeath set on. Is permadeath set on?
I don't think it is on. I might be playing on normal then. I'm not sure. I don't. It's not set on though. Not how I've been playing it through. Because I imagine that gets really hard if you start using characters.
It's kind of that layout, isn't it? To it as if you play an XCOM or anything similar to XCOM. You know, there's that. It's not necessarily a fog of war, is it? But the map's blacked out to a point you can only see so far.
Yeah.
So you're limited to how far you can go into that because obviously the rover's going to go so far per turn to move in. So you can move up to a certain distance and then be able to have another action, just like XCOM, or you can go twice as far. But once you get there, you have to stop, and then control switches to another character.
Yeah, and then like based on the class system, so there are weapons that certain classes can use where you cannot move at all and shoot. So you get an even bigger trade-off where you have to be a lot more careful in your positioning. But say you might be able to move that half distance, then use a frag grenade or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's.
There's more to if you look at screenshots of it, it doesn't really tell the full story, does it at all?
No, I mean I'll show a little bit of the customization in the video.
Yeah, you get a much better representation of the game looking at the video.
But nothing too deep. I don't go into like the character leveling and that kind of thing, which is a lot more extensive than I thought it would be, even after playing it for an hour or two. It's only when you start to get to the higher levels and you realise quite how diverse the characters get and the different skill sets they've got, like the Captain, her Inspire ability. So friendlies on adjacent tiles to her, or later if you upgrade it 2 tiles away, do bonus damage. And while there's at least one of those happening, you also do bonus damage yourself. So you start to have to think about how you can move your squad together rather than having them spread out and divide and conquer. And you want to have them next to each other for all the bonus damage. And it's kind of like it totally changes the way you approach the levels and your gameplay, because you want to be getting that bonus because it's really impactful. You know, it makes a big difference.
It's a charming little thing.
Hmm.
It really is. And I must forget there is no permadeath in the game.
Oh, okay. I was going to
It's
say
it's
because I've
it's
seen
just
some
the
stream.
yeah, because you don't get that many squads. Your squad's not that big. There's just that post battle and the maintenance afterwards,
Yeah,
to restore their health and stuff because they can die mid mission and stuff.
and they get no XP, which is the
I get no
main thing.
XP for that, which is heartbreaking, isn't it? You
So
need the XP.
it's the one character you've been trying to level up because you think their abilities are going to be good, and it's the only one that doesn't get any XP out of the mission. Ugh. And you just feel bad seeing them die because they're adorable.
They're well fleshed, aren't they? For because there's very little voice acting in the game. It's all text really.
Mm-hmm.
Because the voices is just noises, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Um, but they've got a real sense of character, a real sense of personality with each different robot and stuff. I think it's absolutely charming. I thought, yeah, what a surprise it was for me. I'd heard good things, I was expecting good things, but I didn't think it was quite what it exceeded my expectations. Put it that way. I was quite pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, it's very good, and I will persevere to finish it off. It's going to take me a while because it'll be just jumping on and playing like the odd 15 minutes here and there in amongst everything else. And the release schedule for the next couple of months is insane, so
Yeah,
it's going to take a backseat a little bit. But as we've said, it's nice to be able to have something kind of just running in the background, something charming and relatively simple that you can just pick up for 15 minutes and drop again and not worry about it and come back to it couple of weeks' time. And it's
I
not like
think
you're
I don't.
massively
I see.
invested.
For myself, matey, I think obviously now you're driving, I think you might find this as well. Is I don't tend to play on the move.
Yeah,
If I did, this would be on me. This would be on me Vita or it'd be on me iPad or something. And that's how I'd play this. The problem I have with what I'd like to want to put more time into it, but I tend to game only at home, and then other things distract me from it. Really, there's other games I'd rather play and stuff. I'd definitely put more into it if I was, as I say, if I was playing, if I was going by bus anywhere. I think yeah, I'd definitely play a lot. This would be my go-to game at the moment, but it's just there's too many other games that distract me from it.
yeah. I think that's
Perhaps
the
when
main thing.
the inevitable summer drought comes, it's like yeah.
I don't know if it is coming this year. I don't think there will be one. It's it's looking busy.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, me too. I need to check out Steamworld Dig as well because I really like the aesthetic. So I think I'll have to pick that up. I probably got it to be fair. The amount of fucking humble bundles I own, it's probably in there somewhere.
If it isn't, it will be soon.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
got that feeling too, hasn't it?
I completely forgot to cancel my humble monthly again, so I've got next month's too. It might be in there.
We have the witness next month's the witness.
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, you're all good for witness, man.
that's all right then. That'll do. That's worth the money.
I was excited to get Total Warhammer. I haven't even fucking installed the thing yet.
Me neither.
Oh, Total Warhammer! Oh, that's a cracker. Oh, what a bargain that is. I haven't even installed it.
Yeah, I did that. I think I've installed it and then I went, oh look, Near Automata. Ah, Android arse. Well, that's that one done. Game over.
Humble monthly, more games that we'll never play.
Yeah, basically. At least it's not bundle stars.
Yes, lowers the whole tone.
Bundle farce, as it should be known. Okay, so I have rolled the footage over to Gunpoint now. So yeah, take us away.
Why did you pick this one?
I think I picked
Because this is not an easy game, Dan.
No, it's not.
Fucking my head.
I think I picked this one because the last time I was in a proper gaming funk and really struggled to find anything to play, I saw a GIF of it on Twitter and thought, that looks really cool. I like the artwork on that. I'll pick that up. And it happened to drop to £1.49 or something in some Steam sale. And I was like, oh, wicked. I'll play that. And then proceeded to spend the next 20 odd hours just playing Gunpoint and nothing else. It's I don't know why it's so good. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, because I think it's the same kind of thing as Steamworld. It's just charming and beautifully put together and fucking hard work.
Yeah, really hard. That's my problem. I haven't got very far into it, I must admit. I did play a little bit of this a while ago, so I thought, right, I need to go back and start again. So I started the game, and it's just, I think it's not what you expect it to be when you look at screenshots.
No, not at all. It's
I mean, it's essentially a rewiring game. It's a puzzle game for me. That's how I look at this. It's not an action game. It's not a stealth game. It's a puzzle game.
I mean, I will give you some mild spoilers and say that some gear that you pick up towards the latter half of the game means that you can go back and you can play the whole thing as a stealth action game if you want to. The hacking can become completely worthless, basically. But it plays out like a rewiring mini game from Deus Ex or something like that, just fleshed out with ridiculous dialogue and jumping through windows with a coat that means you can survive falls, and that you
John Wick's suit.
Yeah, basically. Except it also happens to liquefy people if you hit them with it, which is half the fun.
I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far.
Yeah.
As you said, the text communication stuff, it looks like it's done on a Switch. By the way, game was before its time.
Oh,
I thought it was hilarious. Some of the dialogue is really funny. It's just a lovely, charming little 8-bit 2D, like a heist game, really, isn't it? You have to go and hack things or steal stuff.
yeah.
It starts off with someone being killed, and you have to erase the footage. So that's like your entry. That was my entry level into it. Go in there, get to that terminal, hack that terminal, steal the footage, and go. And it pretty much, for me, from what I've played so far, there's a building in the middle of the screen, large building in the middle of the screen. Obviously, you can see through the walls, you see all the floors. You enter from the left, and you essentially escape to the right, to the subway on the right.
Yeah.
But the game itself is all about what happens inside the building. So there'd be there's terminals to hack or things to collect as well. And that's essentially it. To make it harder, to make the challenge what actually makes it a game, is just like doors that you can't open, or there's like a lift you can't get access to. And if you're spotted by any security guards, it's instant death. They just turn around and shoot you straight away, bang, you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's a case, well, like, how do I get from here to here? How do I get from A to B? So it's essentially, how do I navigate through this door? How do I get to that wall? How do I get past this guard without him seeing me? And it starts off with a very simple but a really exaggerated jump mechanic, where you hold left mouse and it builds up your jump power, and it's just like a massive leap forwards. You can also scale walls, so you can just go up the walls. Through my mistake and detriment, obviously I didn't realise, which you do realise very quickly, is you can see through the window both ways. So if a guard spots you on the outside of the window, he will shoot you. So it's like, okay, fuck you. And it's just, and then it's a case of like, well, it slowly introduces the mechanics. Then this is how we do it. So you are able to rewire. I don't know how they do that. I know it's explained, but it still didn't make any sense. You're able to rewire things within the building. So so you click at the left, your middle mouse or left alt, I think it was. You click that, and it's like it takes you to like a very simple wire diagram, isn't it?
Of the building.
There's like there's a light switch, and there's a line that runs from that light switch to the light. So you know if you flick that switch on, that light comes on, or like that light will go off. But you can then rewire that. So that light switch will then, you flick that switch, it will open the door instead, or it'll open a trap door or something further on. So it's like, oh, okay. So literally then it become, when I started, because at first I was approaching it like, as I say, a stealth action game, which it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's as simple, you stand there, how can I rewire this to do that? How can I get from there to there? How can I get his attention? How do I do that? And then it was quite straightforward for the first 5 or 6 levels. And then all of a sudden it got really hard really quickly. I was like, okay, I'm really stuck now. Hang on. I have to rethink this again and again.
You have to start using the guards and their patterns and the switches to your advantage. So if there's a guard on the other side of a door that you can't get through, you've got to trigger. Say if you wire the light switch in your side of the building to the lights in his side of the building and the lights in his side of the building to nothing, you can go up, turn the lights off, he'll get confused, turn the light switch, nothing will happen, so he'll come use the switch and walk through the door. Then you can murder the bastard, walk through the door and rewire that door switch to something else entirely.
Yep.
And it starts, I mean, it starts getting out of hand. As the game goes on, you start dealing with 5 or 6 different sets of wiring, and they have colour codes. I think the red ones are the standard ones, then it's green, then it's yellow, something like that, blue, etc.
That's the first bit where I got really flummoxed because there was 2 areas, because up to that point you could rewire most of the building.
Yeah.
But then when it introduced the 2 different coloured node types, I was like, the red can only go to red, and then the blue can only go wire to blue. Like, oh, okay. And it's a simple thing. It's just really clever, though, the way they lay it out. And I'm sure there's like multiple ways of doing these levels as well.
Yes, very
I'm
much.
sure if I explained to you how I did one, everything I didn't do it at all like that. I did it like this. Like, oh. So that's what I like. I think it's really cool.
Everything down to the way the dialogue runs is great. Especially as you go on, it continues to get better, and the difficulty spike is kind of stepped. So like where you are around about now, it's very hard. It starts to slow down a bit because you start to master everything. Then it chucks a load of new mechanics and new systems at you, and then it gets hard again, and then it slows down again, and it kind of cycles that a couple of times before the end of the game. And the last couple of levels are insanely difficult, but the sense of satisfaction you get for finishing them is amazing. It's like Portal levels, like Talos Principle levels of holy shit, did I just do that? Like that was a fluke. There's no way I could have managed that. But it's good game.
It's for essentially what looks really quite a basic premise, mate. It's really, really fucking clever.
It gets more and more complex as it goes along to ridiculous levels. It's interesting watching the way you've wired stuff up, because it's so completely different to the approach I took to all of these levels.
It was working out as well. Obviously, I was trying to work out there's a flow as well, isn't it? If you wire from like left to right or right to left, there's a flow.
Yes, yeah.
To the current almost. So I thought, oh, okay, I got the bit you're saying at the moment where I've got wires everywhere, just trying to figure it out and think, oh, okay, hang on, this is actually I'm making this a lot more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
This is simple, just one wire here would do. So it's like, oh, let's get rid of these wires here. It's a simple case, as you say, of isolating the light, because obviously if the light goes off, the guard becomes aware and then starts, because at first he's stationary. He's like, I'm staying right here. And if you turn a light off, or what I like as well, if you take the lift up to the floor that they might be on, you don't come out the lift, but the noise is enough to make them turn around.
Yes.
So it's like, it is about distraction then as well. So you can distract them with one thing and do it with, and I solved it at the end, but this is where I kind of got up to. It's like only the 7th or 8th level thing. I definitely want to play more of this.
Yeah.
But Zelda, and things. But it's one of them, you do one thing, I want to do the next one now.
Yeah. You get on a bit of a roll, don't you? Because you're like,
yeah,
oh shit, that's how you do it. Okay, what's the next one going to throw at me? And then you go through it, like, oh shit, that's how I do it. Right, where's the next one?
It's one of those, because I did it for a spell, it's like 25 minutes, half an hour, and then like from the start up to a point, I thought, I'm really quite flummoxed. Okay. It's like, as I say, the difficulty just spiked there. It's like, ooh. But I turned it off and went, okay, I walked away. But then I found myself half an hour later thinking, yeah, but for why is that there? And if I do, and then you're compelled to go back then, which is what I did. I went back later on. I thought, yeah, I need to do this. I want to. It's not. There's a way to do this. I just can't see it. But away from the game and thinking about it, I thought, for something that looks relatively simple, it is very engaging for that.
Yeah, It's I'm just I keep getting distracted by watching the way you're approaching things, and it's the way that I approach the same levels is that I would always disconnect everything, every switch, every light, everything. Just disconnect everything. First things
Yeah.
first. Got the lot. Then only connect up the things I needed. I almost set up a chain of different switches and stuff intended to kill all the guards and get me out in one kind of Rube Goldberg machine style chain. And it kind of worked all the way up to right at the end of the game where that just isn't possible anymore, and then I had to rethink my whole strategy. But it's so satisfying when it works out, because the one guard on the bottom floor hits a switch, 5 doors open, 3 people drop out of the top of the lifts, you come crashing through, land on someone, pummel his face into the ground until the game gives you an achievement for turning his head into a pulp, and then you kind of meander out the window and everybody else is dead. It's great.
I can see why that if that the strive for perfection could come into it. You think, oh, there's a smoother way to do this. I think was one of my favourite moments where I turned the light off, come out to where the guard had turned away from the door. I jumped up onto the roof. And I didn't notice the window at first until I jumped from hanging from the roof, or the ceiling, I should say. From hanging from the ceiling, I pounced on him, but took him through the window and 3 floors to the bottom floor. Outside, landed on him, killed him. Thought, oh, that was fucking cool. Huh? Yeah, I'll do that again. How did I do that? Shit. Okay. So, and then it's like, oh, I've done the level and realised I'd missed the computer tunnel and had to go back. Like, oh shit. Yeah, I like it, man. I really do. As you say, it's for me. I think you get on a roll, you do 4 or 5 levels, you might get stuck.
Yeah.
Which has certainly been my experience so far. And then again, just to repeat, you're thinking about it. And then oh, I've got a new way to solve this. I'll go back and have a go, see if that works. And I think with each level I've done, I've learned something new, a new technique, a new way to approach it. I love the trapdoor mechanic. I thought it was fantastic. And when you realise you could use the lift to activate the trapdoor, it was just, yeah, love that. Did you ever do that?
Yes. So
Because I couldn't work out to get through a trapdoor. The way the switches, the way the building was wired, I couldn't flick the switch and get to the trapdoor I needed to get through in time, because it would automatically close after a few seconds. So I don't know how to do this. This isn't possible. Maybe I'm missing something.
Then you trigger the lift to set the trapdoor off, go stand by the trapdoor, wait for the lift to get to the right place because the guard's in it, and then drop through the trapdoor.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any hints for that stuff as well, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, it doesn't walk you through it at all. I mean, it basically said, this is how this. It basically introduces you to the system. So, well, you can rewire stuff. Off you go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an upgrade mechanic. With each level you finish, you get like an upgrade point, which increases how far you can leap. Which, to be honest, is pretty far. And then how quickly that can charge, because there's an element you have to hold left click, isn't it, to charge up your jump.
Yeah.
Obviously, the longer you hold it, the further you will go. But there's an angle as well that you can aim. And then there's so those 2 things could be upgraded: speed of the charge and how far you can actually jump. And then there's items you can buy afterwards as well. With each successful mission, I suppose, for a better expression, with each successful mission, you get money, some currency, and with that you can buy upgrades and things. So I haven't got into that too much. There was, because obviously you buy 2 different things, and then I can't remember after that. I know there's one that makes, if you fly through glass, it softens the noise.
That's good. That's worth picking up.
And the other one is obviously when you land from a height, it dampens the noise as well. There's another upgrade you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most expensive one, which I thought I want that now, was $8,000. You get like $100, $150 for completing each level. But for the $8,000 one, was you can just smash through doors.
Yes, that's good. That was good.
Want that?
There's a pistol.
That sounds awesome.
As well, you can get, which is just a 1-shot kill on guards. I think you only get 1, maybe 2 shots, and it alerts everyone to your position. But it's quite handy in a pinch and that kind of thing. And if you utilise that and the fast charging and the distance leap well, you can chain your way through all the guards in the building and kill every single one of them before they get to fire a shot, and then just meander around unlocking doors and taking stuff. You can make the whole like avoiding guard element of it completely just secondary. It's interesting way it introduces the upgrades as well, because it's very, you can look at this shiny thing for 20 levels and go, I want that thing, but we'll never afford it. And then the second you can afford it, you're like, actually, I don't think that's actually useful anymore. My priorities have changed now.
It's definitely one I'd recommend. So thank you for recommending it, matey. It's been sitting in the library for God knows how long. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I will definitely play more. Absolutely play more.
Good.
It's compelling. And it's very satisfying when you finally figure it out as well. It's that wonderful puzzle element to it. I'm yet to be frustrated by it.
Yeah.
More dumbfounded by it. More, it's like, oh, which I think is really good as well. Plays well.
Yeah,
Looks well.
I finished it twice, and I don't think I got actually frustrated by it once. And I took two very different approaches to it. One was balls out, killing everybody. The other, my second playthrough, I think I managed almost the whole game without being spotted by a single guard or killing any of them, which is difficult.
So can you do the second run? We can do that with all the upgrades that you've unlocked. Is it like New Game Plus?
I can't remember. I don't think so, but don't quote me on that. I think you might be able to replay individual levels and go through them one by one. But if you want the achievements for going through the game without being spotted or killing anyone, then I think you have to do it from scratch.
From scratch, yeah.
Which is hard. That's very hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I would manage that to begin with. Even the levels I've done already, I don't know how it gets to without knocking someone out.
Yeah. It's quite entertaining now watching you worrying up a trapdoor to try and kill a guard as he stands above it.
Yeah. And so you can see already I'm more proficient with the wiring. Yeah. This is obviously me working out, obviously, like polarity, I suppose, is the word. And they're not stupid, are they? The trapdoor opened and he wasn't standing on it, so he walked away from it. So it's like, fuck you, smart ass.
I've got to wait for him to walk above it. That's the trick, which is what I'm waiting for. Hey, and he's dead. Beautiful. And then that horrible moment where you're like, aha, I can escape. And you jump into the trapdoor just as it closes and end up hanging on the bottom of it like a bat. And think, wait, that's not what I intended to happen here.
It's a cracker, that one. It's a good one.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. It's a good game.
It's the best bit so far is that feeling of sheer kind of not frustration but bewilderment, thinking I don't know how to do this, and then all of a sudden you go, when the penny drops and you wake out and you go, I'm thick, aren't I? Why didn't I think of that before?
Yeah. Which
is generally, I think, the best way puzzle games work. It's like the best moments in Portal are the same.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that's about it, really. Yeah.
Cool beans.
Cool. So yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I don't know what we'll be doing for the next one. It might be something completely different. I think we're intending to do some streaming in the meantime. I need to stream some Nier because I've been playing a lot of Nier. And I've been talking a lot about Nier, and yeah, it's just my whole life is Nier at the moment. So I'll stream some of that probably this week, and I think we're going to potentially stream Lawbreakers, depending on how long the beta's out for.
It finished yesterday.
Oh, it finished. Well, okay. Well, we won't be doing that then.
No. We did have Did you fire up again?
No. I looked at some gameplay and was like, yeah, it looked quite a lot of fun, but will it stop me playing Overwatch? Probably not. So, does it matter?
I think that might be the subject of the next podcast. Not what will that stop Dan playing Overwatch?
Because the answer's nothing.
So why bring out all these games in such a short space of time?
After Overwatch.
Which is not Overwatch. Why bring out Zelda? Okay, it's on a new console as well. but why bring out Zelda Breath of the Wild and Horizon and Mass Effect Andromeda and Nier all within a 3 week gap?
Yeah, it's pretty mad. And
It's
then,
a conversation many people have had many, many times.
oh, we can have it again. Oh, yeah, we'll have it again. I mean, you look ahead to the release schedule for like May, and it starts getting nuts again. And Prey is coming out, and all sorts of other things. And I've got a funny feeling that's going to be a proper sleeper hit as well.
I'm looking forward to Prey a lot.
I managed to give myself absolutely no exposure to it, other than like the initial trailer, and went, yeah, I like the sound of that. It's from the people who made Dishonored. I'm probably going to like that. And that'll be it until the reviews come out, and then I'll probably pick it up anyway. But
The fact that the enemies can turn it into objects within the environment, and if the developers have been surprised with what the AI have done,
yeah,
it just sounds fucking amazing. Because what I can't remember the game that we played, that it was on Gary's mod, the hide and
Prop Hunt.
seek game, Prop Hunt.
Oh, Prop Hunt.
It's like Prop Hunt, and there's ways like you can turn something. The only bit I've seen was he had to go through a kiosk and he didn't know how to do it, so he turned himself into a cup,
Yeah.
like a mug, and rolled through the gap in the teller's window. And I thought, hey, I need to play that.
Yeah.
That looks boss.
Maybe we'll stream it in May.
I've got real high. I'm holding a candle for that, and that's good.
Yeah, same. Initial previews have been very positive, so we'll see. But yeah, so we'll be back in probably 3 weeks, depending on how our schedules work out. But the 3 week cycle seems to work a little bit better at the moment. But I'm sure we'll be streaming in between now and then at some point. Probably just Overwatch, because it's Overwatch. But yeah, that's all from me. So yeah, we will catch you next time.
Take it easy, chaps.